Yang Xiang. Right. Hey, Jialing, hello. Yeah, where do you hand in? I thought I have the Google Classroom, right? Do you all have the Google Classroom code? Sorry, guys. Zhao Xian, it's not that I don't want to give you. If I go to my Google Classroom now, the whole bloody computer will hang. That was happening. So I dare not to open up a lot of things. So just now when I want to start my computer, I have to restart 3 times. Bloody hell. Then the computer say, please wait for Pei Kun to give you the password. Hi, Jialing, how are you? So Chelsea or whoever, if you have, I think Zhao Xuan, you have to ask the JLC, my colleague, to give you the code and put you inside. Okay, Ken? Okay, thank you. Why don't you all turn on your camera, please? Jialing, are you there? Jialing, are you there? Xing Chen and Zhao Xuan, please turn on your camera. Okay, good evening, everybody. Today's is should be lesson 4. I took my antibiotic, I took my flu, I took my fever, I took everything, you know. Last few days, my whole body was swelling and bleeding and in pain because the abscess, you know, Yang Xiang, you know what's abscess? You know the pimple, the acne, you know where? At my private parts and my ass. Well, can you imagine? Hey, don't laugh, right? I went for operation before, no? 3 times at my scoptrum. You know scoptrum, right? Near the testicle there, okay? Oh, so bad. And then my ass before when I was teaching. Oh my goodness, you know, was bleeding the day I was working. Agony. Okay, let's go to how do we respond to tension arising from some economic impact. If you have the textbook, please turn on to your textbook of page 272. Jialing, I can't see you. What happened? Oh, hold on, teacher. Okay, Zhao Xuan and Xing Chen. So do you think this will work for Singapore in the next 50 years? All right. Hi, Xing Chen. Hello. Okay, guys, ready? So do you think this will work? I want you to read and then take note because these questions is not only impact to the company, to the countries, to the individuals, but also will impact to you as an individual or yourself. Because like today, I went to sell my eco-friendly products. Then I met this intern. You know what is intern or Yang Xiang? Intern is an NUS. So, you know, 三寸离不出本行听过吗，贝坤? So I asked, hey, you NUS undergrad, do you took social study though? So I asked her, like, so she said yes. Then I said, okay. Then do you know that social study is very important now? You can see, right? Then yeah, I agree. The comparison skills, the reliability skills. Okay. Wow, got phlegm already. Hi, Jialing. You just came back from China 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Can catch up or not?
Yeah, I can.
Your school allowed?
Yeah.
Oh, then my say, I'm going to Switzerland. I finish my, or you go to Beijing Olympic and come back. No, just kidding. Okay. Welcome back, Jialing. So I think you have missed a couple of lessons. Don't worry. All right. If you need any help as usual, like that time you WhatsApp me, right? Your questions, right? I think now all of you if your school is going to give you a test soon, which is next month. So any questions, please do not hesitate. Jialing, whatever the question that day I forgot, since you didn't come up, before I forget to start my lesson, Jialing, whatever the teachers send you the questions, you will not come up for your this coming test, but you will to study the other two already. I don't know what is the question. Come on, Jialing, if you are a teacher, you are setting, for example, to do on economic crisis, right? In your test, you will do social crisis, correct now? You won't do the same thing again. Okay, so take note, children, Bei Kun and Zhao Xue, 明白吗? Right? Okay. Now, making globalization work. So I want to take this very seriously. What do you think? Because the next 50 years, okay, Yang Xiang, Uncle Raymond will not be in Singapore anymore already. I told you, right, I will be in California serving with all my bikini girlfriend. Right. And I only want to disturb Yang Xiang only. The rest are very serious. This guy not serious. Just kidding. No, joke aside, 50 years 可能我死掉了。我已经50岁了，现在53岁，我50年100岁。如果我100岁还可以打太极 joke aside, I'm being very healthy, right? Keeping healthy, right? This is aging population issue. So what's the next 50 years that you really can you write the word? Start with E, end with K. Bei Kun, what is the word? Start with E, end with K, inside got B. It's a very important word for you, guys. What is that word?
Like, what's the question? Like the word, like for what kind of thing?
The words, the first word, sorry, today if I were to talk like start with E, end with K, inside got B. Embark right now. What are you going to embark on? Embark on the journey. Bei Kun, Bei Kun, okay, let's now talk about you first. Bei Kun, are you a Singaporean citizen now?
Yes.
Yes, so 我可以这样讲吗？你生在这边，死在这边 serve the NS everything， 对不对？ Unless the government is so effed up for the next 50 years, you migrate, but the next 50 years will definitely impact your life. By then you will be 60 plus, 对不对？你可能好命你就做阿公了，对吗？ Then you grandson, true, right? So 我跟你讲，如果你 don't take it seriously for the next 50 years to plan for your future, sorry, Bei Kun, joke aside, I know this is set for so 你很烂，OK， 你不顾正业，不要读书 ，OK， 你考了一个 result，sorry ITE, you go to ITE, okay, ITE, all right. Do you think there's a future for you as in ITE?
Like maybe.
There is always maybe. There will still a chance. ITE or poly or JC or university. Can you promise that once you go to university, you will get a job? No, right? Nobody can promise you. But why, since nobody can promise you a job, Jia Lei, why you still want to pursue and embark on a career to get a university? 我跟你讲过，杨相，我教的东西是 real life real life 真实的。为什么You know, there's no you don't know what's you embark on the university, but you don't know what happened. How? This is why I'm going to talk about this. 嘉玲，你们不要跟我讲，你说妈咪 daddy 叫我读书，说 I will embark and get my degree. That doesn't make sense 赵璇 correct? 你要有自己的主见的嘛，对不对 ？Right? You have your own thoughts, right? So for example, Bei Kun. Now you can go to university. What faculty you want to take? Bei Kun.
Engineering.
I don't like to hear IDK already. You're 16 years old. Now you have to decide your you see what you want?
Engineering.
Engineering. Then your daddy, mommy say, oh, uncle, engineering 没有前途了啦，太多 engineer 了，你笑啊，去 study law 啦 ，study medicine 啊。可是Bei Kun很怕看到血，对吗？但Bei Kun不喜欢做 lawyer， 因为他不喜欢跟人家讲话 ，nothing wrong 对吗？对不对？你喜欢做 engineering 就是做东西出来，a very tangible product， 对不对？可能 really 50 years engineer is booming. Do you know some of my lawyer friends and lawyers now 不畅销了 not popular already. True, right? Yeah, surprisingly, but I still want to embark. You see, I still want to embark on lawyer. Yang Xiang, talk so much. What got to do with related with this topic? Because, okay, Yang Xiang, you want to say something?
Oh, no, sorry.
No, you want to say something? No, Why talk so much? What to do with Singapore? You see, Yang Xiang, if the government is not planning for the next 50 years or plan for it, you remember fear to plan to fear, right? If the government do not have a path for you guys, because you guys are going to vote and you guys are going to lead the country, true or not? You are the next generations that is going to be the pillar of the whole country. And you guys are going to screw up the whole bloody entire society. You're going to screw up not only your generation, the whole entire society in Singapore. Okay, just like now you see China. Okay, take for example, why are they building very strong army? The history, the dynasty has shown, correct now? What happening? 已经给人家欺压，东亚病夫。So same thing, guys. You know, education doesn't mean that you can get a good job. Okay, gentlemen, we are going to read this and see how true it is. Chelsea, can you read? Making globalization work, the Singapore experience. And by the way, 嘉玲啊，这个已经是一半了。如果你要整个 essay which is super important for this essay 嘉玲。This is a more of a high level university essay, which is very good. I can do in a PDF for all of you. You must must read this article because there are some that Chelsea, I highlighted a few, right? Very important sentences that can definitely use for your structure response question. Okay, Jialing? Thank you. Chelsea, back to you.
Despite the challenges facing globalization, a retreat from open policies is not the solution. The appropriate response is to measure the process so that the gains from trade are more uniformly and equitably shared. The cost elevator. In particular, government need to offer greater support for adversely affected constituencies.
As well as
the more vulnerable members of society through targeted and well-implemented policies.
Exactly. Beikun, sorry, so it doesn't mean, let's say you cannot study, go ITE, right? Does it mean that your mentality is lousy? No, it's just because you see, this is sorry, this is recording. Sometimes I find it this country is there some policies damn stupid. If the student is feel mad for fear English, it's like putting them into this kind of course, right? Right, then what is the point? We got SOTA, we got NUS High, we got Enola JC, we got different platform because and even got Pathlight and Northlight. You know, right? You know what's Northlight, right? Northlight is like people. I cannot take it. There's one time my student, Northlight are all these stupid clown cannot study one. All will go Northlight. Wow, 我听了很想给他一巴嘞，杨想。And the next thing they say, Northlight usually 80% of Malays. Wow. Cannot 这样讲吗？对不对 ？Who are you to say that 80% Malay? Malay 不是人呐。Then 我就讲的 ，Why you can say, hey, of course I can because my relative also Malay 啊。我 then 那个学生紧紧。So you cannot say I racist 啊，对啊。你要讲 Indian 我也是有 Indian 的。你要讲 Peranakan 我也是有 Peranakan 的。You know what is Peranakan, right? The Baba, right? So I think I got the right job to teach social study. I no any biasness. So take note, Beikun. To give you as an example, okay, you might feel stressed now, right? Whatever it is, Singapore is also facing stress, right? With the COVID, with the pandemic, and now on so much thing, and small country giving up masks. Do you know these few days I was working in Tzu Chi, selling my products. A lot of auntie, Beikun. Yeah, listening up, Beikun. A lot of auntie uncle say, 哇，我很感恩啊，我可以住在新加坡了。then 我问家里 auntie。大姐，你是不是马来西亚人 ？Because I can hear the way she talk 呀，是的，我很感恩了，可以来到新加坡，我孩子在这边做工。Right, so you see嘉玲 this Beikun this auntie before he came to Singapore, he already make a plan, correct? Right, to put their children in Singapore. 那我就问到我家长问他 auntie， 为什么你要把孩子这边因为这边读书好，教育好，虽然他讲虽然就是 even though the stress is very high, but here the educations will make my children better. Then 我就问现在你女儿做什么？她是 accountant. 哇 so proud. 找到工作有一份工作很好。我现在在顾我的2个宝贝孙子。auntie 你这个孩子我就1个而已。你see 可以真的是未雨绸缪。Beikun, this auntie never study social study. 就呢 So that means before now she's about 60 plus. So we move backward, we rewind her life. So when she was 20, 30, she got married, right? 他们就是真的漂洋过海过来了 with the husband, right? Correct? Chelsea, to come to Singapore to embark. Can I use the word embark now? To embark their family, their career here. So use the word embark, okay, children? So it's a very useful. So what Chelsea is reading is actually saying the vulnerable members of society. We are not neglecting. Can we say like that, Chelsea? Imagine that, you know, you got your mask already? The latest mask? Very good, Very good. Seriously, very good. So imagine Mr. Lee Hsien Loong will say, only the Chinese will get 3 masks, the Malay 1 mask, Indian, very dark, cannot see them, no need mask. Very dark, and it smells also cannot. I tell you, Jia Ling, 我一定 migrate out of Singapore already, 对不对? Confirm got racism, right? 对不对? Then imagine like that. Okay, never mind. Sing Chinese a lot, right? Never mind. We'll give more Malays and more Indian. The Chinese 10多一点不用紧，可以的。哇，一定搞 racial riot. Remember you study the racial riot, right? 对不对？每一条生命都是珍贵的。That is why you say more vulnerable member society. You see in Singapore we take care. So children, can I have a quick one? For the next 50 years, so Chiao Sing, if you are the prime minister, right, how are you going to help these people, which now those FAS, right, people, how are you going to help these people? People has in low income, people who are vulnerable in society. Take for example, the handicapped people, okay? The special needs kids, and then people who are single mother, you know, a lot of single parents. I don't know, nowadays, divorce case is higher than marriage case. Seriously. 真的悲观。真的。你懂马来人结婚哦，他们结婚之前他们要去 counseling 的嘞。They have to go counseling 的to see whether you're very funny. Then I say, abang apa sini kahwin boleh tak counseling tak? Yeah, because the must cakap then boleh. Cakap 就是讲话要 counsel. Oh, then but you already get married, to see we are ready or not. Because Muslim people, most of them married very young. Okay, nothing wrong 悲棍，你18岁也可以结婚的没有错除非你跟我讲你是 gay 现在 gay 在这边不可以结婚吗？台湾可以对吗？guys LGBT 也是人吗？对不对？反正他们是很好，你看最近有2个11岁的孩子给他的父亲杀死对吗？ Just because they are special needs. You know about this story 悲棍现在很可怜过年了so 悲棍no sorry, I back to you, Chelsea. Yes.
Answer the question, right? The government can provide like subsidies for those who need it.
Salah, your government, you are the PM now, you are the Prime Minister.
Okay, then I will provide subsidies for those underprivileged people. For example, like giving them grants monthly where they can buy daily necessities at lower prices. Then also can provide them with coupons to be able to buy like daily necessities, like buy 1 get 1 free coupons, something like that. Then I will
你太老套了嘞 ，coupon 了，现在全部我到时我老了你做 Prime Minister where got coupon? Everything will be e-coupon ready, brother， 对不对？环保嘛，大哥，现在都有 ECDC voucher 对吗？对吧？他们 download 对吗？Then very cute 讲到这个那个 auntie， 我不晓用嘞，安怎用？You know what you say 了 ？You know you understand what I'm saying？ 我不会用怎么用？Computer 他怕现在有那个 OCBC scan right this is where all the digital ambassador will come in to help. 乔欣 carry on.
Then I would also launch campaigns to promote like inclusion of these underprivileged people. So where like let the more privileged people of society to understand where these people are coming from and the troubles that they face, so that these underprivileged will not be looked down upon by the, we will say, more privileged people.
一视同仁 Can you write down all of you? Chelsea mentioned a very good launch. Okay, write down. This is very important. You don't write, that's your problem. You will not repeat already unless you go and watch the video. Okay. Excuse me. The Prime Minister Wu Qiaoxing will launch a series of campaign to create awareness, attentions, and alertness to help the vulnerable member of the society. Write down to launch a series of campaign. Whether you are going to do for elections or you change a president or campaign when you go to JC to select a president in your CCA, launch a series of campaign. Campaign is right now is a moving tools, TOOL, 赵学 moving tool 是一个工具，对吗？ To create awareness. 这个吴总理他现在要开发怎么样这种 campaign， 对不对？ Now 好像这个 campaign for example Mr. 吴总理，现在是李显龙，他们是什么？是什么 campaign？就是说戴口罩 ，right？ They give out the mask and the vaccination, right？ and 孩子 ，this is a series of campaign. Well done. I don't know what you're laughing at 啊，贝坤。Hello. Hi， 跑掉了，真是没有礼貌，不要跟阿哥们讲嗨。哎呀，真是。Okay, thank you, 乔欣。Carry on the next paragraph. 乔欣 I can't hear you.
The Singapore government has stepped up efforts to promote equality of opportunity and inclusive growth for small constructive responses to globalization and rapid technological advancement.
The one
The
I
measure-
highlighted, sorry, the one I highlighted, Jialing, is super important. Okay, right now, anyway, you got like this. If you are print out or on the screen, please do that. Carry on. The measure.
The measures taken have focused on three main thrusts. One, supporting firms' innovation and productivity drive. Two, investing in workers.
Okay, no three, three somewhere here. Now this two is where the skill this will be the skill future. This will be helping the small medium enterprise SME. All right, take note now. Okay, step up effort to promote equality of opportunity. This is a super important word right now. Equality of equality of opportunity. Okay, I ask you 杨相，你有3个孩子啊 ？OK， 老大读书很厉害，老二读书不厉害，可是他的 sport 很好 ，OK， 他的 sport 实在好，他玩什么 sport 每次都是第1名。那老三读书收了哈 ，sorry not cursing your children don't mistaken I want to see OK， 杨相都卖所以老三读书收 sport 也不说很好 ，OK， 可是他做手工还是煮饭这些很好。请问你你有一个$1 million who will you invest I ask all of you the same 1, 2, 3 the 6 of you. You have these 3 children. Who will you invest the $1 million to?
第一个 first one
读书很厉害OK 好，我们来问记住can you put OK one 乔欣呢？One also
Yeah.
OK， 贝坤呢？
哦，
没有啦，你欠扁你只有$1 million， 只有一个，可以选一个。OK good， 你很爱你3个宝贝 ，not fair。
Then I think one
also 星辰 ，Who will you invest? Your elder son, second son, or third son? 星辰。星辰。嘉玲呢
I think one.
？One also。赵璇。赵璇 ，you hear me? 1, 2, 3。星辰 ，if you hear me, which okay? 星辰 is up. Okay. 赵璇 ，which one? 快点
I think maybe two.
，2Actually, 1
Yeah.
and 25位宝贝，你根本不用花钱嘛。第一个读书这么厉害，一定拿 scholarship 嘛。我都讲他读书很厉害了，对不对？他拿 scholarship 嘛，对不对？政府养他 ，correct 了。呢 ，innovation and productivity。then 老二读 sport 很厉害，对吗？杨相then of course can go to school of the sport 嘛，对不对？ then 老三虽然是读书不厉害，他可是手艺很好，给他开一个餐馆给他跑吗？对不对 ？It's a life skill true or not? Or another way, how come you all never think of this? Can I split my $1 million to three of my son? You see? 贝坤明白吗 ？Even though I give you $1 million, you have to question me back, Uncle. Can I divide this sum of money to 3 of my children? You see? Correct or This is social study. This is not maths. 乔欣 agree 乔欣 right? You agree with me? Of course, the 3 children are important. It's the same thing like mom doing this one. If you got SME and innovative of worker, look at next one. This one, you see, this is the one, Chelsea. Yeah.
Strengthening inclusivity through physical transfers and redistributive policies.
And you see, so if the government collect all the GST, the taxes, Chelsea, right? The money was spent correct now. If you need to help the Malays, you help the Malays. If you need to help the Indians, you help the Indians. If you need to help what kind of a race, what kind of a social economy status, they will put aside of the money to separate them. 一视同仁. Right, 对吗? Especially, sorry, Chelsea, Bei Kun, Yang Xiang, and Zhao Xuan, Jia Ling, and Xing Chen. Like your daddy is around my age, about 40 plus 50. This is the most vulnerable group. Agree not? Jia Ling, 对吗? Why? Because we already hit our prime, our experts, our professionalism. But don't get mistaken, Zhao Xuan. When we are 40, 50, our body spare part will get weaker, 对吗? 对不对? Right, our hair will get not so deteriorating, but not so strong as the potato 20 years old, right? Bei Kun, do you run 100 meter? Anyone here is a 100 meter sprinter? No. My 100 meter sprinter was beside Usain Bolt. I'm the second best. Stop laughing, Zhao Xuan. I haven't said that one is PS station. Okay, joke. Okay, no. When I was young, at that time, I ran is about 11 seconds plus to jump. That was 19 plus. Few years ago, when I was teaching in school, I ran because I was a track and field teacher. I ran with my student. I got 19 seconds. You see? So when you get older, you get more of this, right? So now this is the way strengthening inclusive through physical transfer and redistributive of policy. So that $1 million Bei Kun. You have to see your 3 children's strength. Correct? No? You have to see where their strength, their weakness, opportunity, and threat, and help them. Right? And who knows? Maybe, sorry, you have a 4th child, and that is a girl. How? It's a daughter, Zhao Xuan. The 4th one is your daughter. Will you be that kind of old thinking, like Chelsea? You know, 以前重男轻女来，哎呀，女孩子不用读书啊，嫁出去就算了。How? I will give to my daughter. Right? I will give to my daughter. For me, I will give to my daughter. Because it's only one precious daughter, 对吗？ Chelsea? 女儿是以前的前世的女朋友。Okay, right, joke aside, so, right, ready? Next, Yang Xiang, can you read? Encouraging firms to innovate. Take note of the highlighted. So these 3 points are very important. Okay, now your turn.
Encouraging firms to innovate. New programs have been launched to help firms restructure to succeed in a more competitive global environment. This involves accelerating automation to build capacity, helping firms to scale up their operations and internationalize, and shifting support towards small and medium-sized enterprises, which are poised to become key drivers in the next phase of innovation. The main goal is to help firms raise productivity and move into higher value industries that capitalize on Singapore's evolving comparative advantages, and in the process, create higher quality jobs for the domestic workforce.
Understand now that $1 million, when you are investing, your elder son is already studied so smart already. He knows most of the thing. Your second son are so good, they are gifted with sports. Your third son may not be good in study, may not good in sport, but is good in skill like cooking or arts. So you need to have a quality job for them because they are quite professional, but very how do I say, very niche market for arts or certain program. So like in Singapore, why like Prime Minister Wu just now mentioned, he will launch a series of campaign to help certain group of people who are vulnerable that left out. You know, GST is coming to increase, right? From 7 to 9%. Now, with this GST increase, a lot of people, I listen to the radio, people complain, 这个政府已经有这个疫情了，还起这些 GST， 真是嘞，人家是雪中送炭嘞，这是火上加油嘞，怎么可以这样？不可以这样做。Well, is there anything wrong that increase of GST that we tax the rich and give the poor? True not? Like remember last week I mentioned Jia Ling, okay, I start saying that a sweeper can buy a Louis Vuitton, nothing wrong, huh? 对吗？对吗？ Nothing wrong, huh? But usually the rich people will every month may buy a Louis Vuitton, 对不对？ So with that Louis Vuitton 当然是有 GST 对吗？ Ostentatious good 对不对？对不对？对不对 ？Okay, for example 很简单，以前 Uncle Raymond 抽烟，说我买香烟。现在我不抽烟，我问我的抽烟的朋友，诶 how much you buy the C？ 哇 ，very expensive 啊，政府笑的，起到这么高。我说哈 ，it's good for you right？ 对吗？家里 ，they reduce you from smoking 吗？对不对 ？Then got alcohol tax, got this tax, all this money tax. The money go to where? You can see that they give to the like what Qiao Xing was mentioning. We give to the vulnerable. That is where it is. And what just now Yang Xiang, you're reading this right? To help the firm, you see, all this money collected. Now, Yang Xiang, do you agree that all this SME they pay taxes to government, right? So now the government is to come back and tell, hey guys, I hear your voice. I understand it's very difficult with the COVID, with the pandemic. I'm going to give you a structure of how to help to bring your company to the next level, which is internationalized, which is going to be on par with other countries. And you know, right, BragTalk is international. Mei Zhenxiang also, and Old Chang-kee. That's what we are doing, okay? Yang Xiang?
Given the unique challenges facing different industries, the government has adopted a sector-specific and more micro-oriented approach. Specifically, SGD 4.5 billion industry transformation program has been launched to integrate various government restructuring efforts and to develop tailored industry strategies in a more systemic and coordinated manner. Under the strategic growth program, roadmaps will be developed for 23 industries. The specific measures will be implemented through partnerships between the government, firms, trade associations, and business chambers. Each roadmap will consist of a suite of measures to raise productivity, develop skills, drive innovation, and promote internationalization. A key part of building capabilities at the firm level will be through digitization and other IT solutions.
So you see, thank you so much. Well read. So Qiao Xing, just now remember you say you want to give coupon and voucher. 50 years 没有 coupon 了，全部都是 digitalization 了。Oh, so you see, you have to plan ahead already. Oh, by the way, the one I highlighted, industrial transformation program ITP is a very important right now. Huh? Okay, you might come out in your SPQ. I happen to see this somewhere in the SPQ. I can't remember which school. Okay, I want you to take note to what is this? This is some things like to help company like 你们有没有看小孩不笨啊？有没有？哎呀，你懂那个小孩不笨啊？有一个 part， 你懂他有卖那个八卦肉干啊。They transform their business. You have to watch. That one is Singapore movie. So if you watch, then you understand what you mean by the ITP. They transform the things into another platform to help people, the tauke, the businessman, to have a niche and an edge right now, an edge of others just telling. That means you more competitive advantage, no? All right. So for example, take let's see one example. Okay, 请问你哦，我们那些咖啡店啊 how can we compete with Starbucks and Yakult? Very hard, right? Right. So, Jialing, if you are the coffee supplier, right? Definitely you want to supply coffee, the coffee bean, the seed to Starbucks, right? True not? Obviously, right? Because Singapore Starbucks got about coming 60 over outlets or so. Then the coffee shop maybe Lim Kopi, you know Lim Kopi or Kou Fu, you know Kou Fu, right? Only a couple of them. So who will you? I mean, 这个就是很简单的。So this is where Zhao Xuan and Yang Xiang, this is where we are talking about this called isolationist policy. That means anti-globalization. But 新加坡不可以 stop Starbucks 进来，他要给 Starbucks 进来。So what Yang Xiang was reading is that no choice, right? So they have to help the Kou Fu or Lim Kopi coffee shop to upgrade their things, to help them to digitize or maybe improve their machinery. Okay, not easy, children. Pei Kun, so what you are studying engineering. You have the best product, but your salesperson don't know how to sell the product is as useless as a white elephant. True enough. Let's be honest. right? So children, if you are doing engineering, and you think that, no, I just want to give the best product, sorry, you won't sell. You see iPhone or Samsung or LG or Panasonic or Sony or even Tesla car or Oppo or Xiaomi, no matter how good their 5G, if their campaign, that's what Chelsea mentioned about their campaign, their launching of their products, is not attractive and create awareness, nobody will buy. Nobody will buy. It's all about IT solution, children. So this is very important. Take note. This one is super. You write down somewhere. I think by now, children, if you do not have a social study notebook to write down any things that I'm sharing with you, or even in your school teachers, you don't do justice to yourself or SS. Trust me, okay? Right? Please write down. Last paragraph, my dear.
To provide further support as firms undergo restructuring, the government has offered time-bound financial assistance to companies, including grants to support investment as well as targeted relief measures to ease the adjustment process. An example would be productivity and innovation credits and corporate tax rebates.
Yeah, thank you. Just like Chelsea, you mentioned, giving grants, right? But you see the grants, you see Prime Minister Wu, you are only targeting for needy people. 可是你忘了另外一群人呢，就是那些 SME 的。These are the bulk one who contribute most taxes, 对吗？ Because of these taxes, that's why you can help the needy people, 对不对？对不对 ？True 啊，哦，对吗？ So how are you? So can you imagine if Pei Kun, Yang Xiang, who is out already okay. If imagine Pei Kun, Yang Xiang, Jia Ling we are all 淘给businessmen. Then 这个 Prime Minister Wu 只是整天 help poor people, help poor people. Then 我们做生意已经有困难了 ，very competitive 哦。Then 我们去找那个 Prime Minister 的那个 Finance Minister 李兆轩。李兆轩说：“嘿嘿嘿，你要我帮你可以你给我请我吃佛跳墙。”And then 我去找新城，也是那个 Education Minister 什么的。Are we doing the right things? Find the right person? Or Finance Minister, Mr. Lee. So how are you going to help us? Are you going to bring this voice to Prime Minister Wu? Get it? 明白吗？ It's all linked, 息息相关。So that's why I mean here, 呢？明白吗，嘉玲？改革重改。The policy itself, okay, sorry, the policy that is suitable for your daddy and mommy and Uncle Raymond is now. In next 50 years, those policy will definitely not suitable for you already. True not? 这个世界是千变万化。Take note, all right, thank you. Xing Chen, your turn. Supporting workers in skill developments. Xing Chen. I can't
Supporting
hear you.
workers in skill development. To help the workforce adapt to structural shifts, various initiatives have been introduced to support lifelong learning, skills adaptation, and increased occupational mobility. Under the Skills Future Initiative, the government seeks to foster a culture of lifelong learning as well as to help the workers develop and master skills in the new growth clusters. Skills Future aims to promote industry support for individuals to progress based on skills upgrading and involves developing an integrated system of education, training, and career progression.
So come back to your 3 children. The first 2 already got scholarship. The first one will go to Oxford or Cambridge. The second one will go to one of the best sports school with a scholarship. The third one, how? Are you going to send him to Shatec or to one of the culinary schools to learn to become a chef? Or what? Or go further upgrading the skills in the skill future? Or get to let him learn from a very famous chef, a Michelin chef? Now you get it. You always put yourself like a father who are taking care of 3 different types of children, who have 3 different needs. And this needs varies. And that doesn't mean the last one is useless or the first one is good. No. Look at your 10 finger, Pei Kun. Look at your 10 finger now. Which finger you don't want? Of course, all the finger you want, what? No, this is such a simple reason. If this reason you cannot take it and you still think 嘴巴讲一视同仁 equality, then you are talk cock and sing song, cock and bull story. 对吗，贝棍? Right, Zhao Xuan, you agree? Right. So all must be on equal footing right now. And this is the one, support lifelong learning. Okay, in fact, next time, when you guys graduated already, don't get a degree, okay, Yang Xiang, don't just get a degree. You must go further for your master. And my advice is, Pei Kun, if you get a degree in engineering, go and do a master in business administration, MBA, not the basketball, master in business administration. Once you get this, I tell you, your salary increase another $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Yes, you can be a CFO and CEO. Seriously. And then if you master, you go for a doctorate or get another master degree with 2 master degrees. You are different. Means that your technical knowledge are very good. Human skills are very good. And management skills are very good. So it's a triangle. So Zhao Xuan only have 1 degree. Okay, Jialing have degree master, but you have degree master, another degree, for example, degree in psychology. Oh, that would be different. Get it now? Very good. You need to enhance your credibility by a lot of certificate and knowledge. And as a Singapore here, sorry, Zhao Xuan, we are not like China, right? China got big vast of land. 人才是哇，你丢一个石头都有十几千。Every year China is graduating thousands and thousands of engineers, 对吧? And don't forget, now they might need Singapore engineer. In 20 years, sorry, Pei Kun, your engineer people say, sorry, I want to take my China engineer. True not? Who are you to talk? Say, yeah, but my parents are China. Yeah, so? Sorry, 对不对? So 贝棍，如果你有一个 pills 可以给你自己的孩子吃，百病不发你当然是给你自己的孩子，你不会给你的妹妹的孩子嘛，你不给你的朋友的孩子，对不对？不是自私的，这个是天公地道的事情的。So remember, children, I hope not just this lesson, you must continue to upgrade yourself in order to stay employability. Okay, even as a teacher. So 贝棍 So one day 赵璇我失声了失声不是失我的身体失那个声音赵璇你笑个屁笑，我不是失声我身体很美的我是失那个声音啦，赵璇。Okay, I lost my voice. I can't teach, right? How? At least I can still work in Starbucks, right? Correct. I got F&B certificate. 明白吗？ You must always have the 未雨绸缪的。That's why the 50 years, take note, Singapore must save for raining days. It's very competitive. And do you know India, Jialing, India are coming back. They are even stronger now. 美国真的是风水轮流转，美国 is going to move backward. And you can see Asia is going to be an oyster. You know it's oyster, right? You know oyster 里面有时候有个珠pearl, right? It's yours, no, guys. Seriously, if you don't want to study hard, you want to screw up your life. I got nothing to say. Carry on, Xing Chen.
Where was I? For instance, more structured internship programs have been introduced in institutes of higher learning. Cash credits have been made available to all Singaporeans for work skills-related courses. And cash subsidies and training support have been increased for mid-career workers. Additionally, the government has piloted new approaches to job matching and re-skilling of mid-career professionals. Through 16
No, okay,
33 industry.
Never mind, that one is okay. Guys, please write down this job matching and reskilling of mid-career professional. Write down, please. Okay, because we're going to talk about Jialing, NTUC right now, NTUC Trade Union. 我不懂你上个月有没有 join 我的 class？ 没有是吗？因为我们有一个SBQ。 我带给你。嘉玲，我不懂，你刚回来，你懂？赵轩最近不是一辆车 Bentley 撞到一个 security guard，有没有？你懂那个 story 吗？那个 Bentley 撞到那个 security guard，right？ 说那个 security guard 受伤吗？说这个 NTUC Trade Union 我会去，就是他们就是 take care of worker 的。Okay，and please tell your parents if they are Singaporeans it's good to join the NTUC Trade Union， 一个月才还9块钱。然后children, your parents who want to go to the NTUC UTEP UTEP let me share with you please go in and take a look. Okay, Uncle Raymond went to learn Photoshop, and he was yeah, I do my Photoshop, but now I forgot how to do. I want to Photoshop with a lot of nice beautiful girl beside, cannot work. End up all the anti-fat one. Okay, joke aside, guys, the NTUC UTEP is actually a skill future for people who are out of job or people who want to look for a job. They will go and counsel you. And that 2 years ago, when I was attending a Photoshop, they got these courses for security guard. 因为新加坡需要很多 security guard， 对吗？ As long as you got condominium， 一定有 security guard 嘛，对不对？ But I won't be surprised Prime Minister Wu 以后condo 全部 security guard 是 AI 的，会吗 ？Robot， 对不对？ So Uncle Raymond 要做 security guard 没有得做了吗 ？Not true. I will be programming the security guard AI. I will be in the control station watching all the AI robots to move around. Now you get it? So I got employability because I got a degree in IT. I got 2 degree and 5 diploma. I'm coming up my 3rd one. My wife say I sell. Nothing wrong. 杨相活到老学到老，对不对？一定要这样的 children。我跟你讲你们的年代会比较惨You're more competitive now. You see now, you look at the China students as in China, as in Korea, as in Japan. 就呢，你笑什么？不对咩？赵贤，你说笑。Okay. This one this one super good super good. Trust me. This one is where if Uncle Raymond went to this one, okay, what happened is that PCB right down is where I was out of job. Then the government says, since you are from education, right, Zhao Xuan, I'm from education. I quit my job. I can't find a job within 6 months. I went to work with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law company is actually doing rubber stamp and business. So I was a regional marketing manager. Different job, right? 对吗，赵璇? Correct not? But guess what? When I got this, the government paid 90% of my salary. So Zhao Xuan, if you are my brother-in-law, you only pay 10% of my salary, right? Okay. So for easy calculation, if my salary example is $10,000, so you only pay 1,000, correct? True, because 90% is the government pay, right? 对不对？对吗？赵璇对吗？贝坤 So this one create a lot of employability for people like Uncle Raymond or your parents around this age. So Pei Kun and Zhao Xuan or Jia Ling, if you have come across any of your relative or friends or who their parents are out of job, you can suggest to them about PCP. It's super good. It's really super good. That is, they help them for 6 months. After 6 months, I decided not to work for my brother-in-law, right? Of course, I will not get it. 对不对? But if I continue to work, then my brother-in-law have to pay me 10,000 a month. Get it? And then my brother-in-law also can use the government fund to buy the machines for photocopy machines, printing machines at a fraction of the cost. Then Yang Xiang, my brother-in-law want to do web design, right? No, web design is not cheap, right? People want to design your e-commerce, that means they want to buy rubber stamp or print name card, they have to do design, right? They got this software and put it inside the particular website, and the government also pays certain fees, cover certain costs. Well done, right? Now you get it? You see, all this taxes money that the government took from your parents, from me, they return back to society. Who's turn? Xing Chen, carry on.
Where was it?
Government.
Government has sought to alleviate structural mismatches in the domestic labor market by helping to better match and retrain, if necessary, dislocated workers with new jobs in future growth sectors. To prepare newer generations of Singaporeans for the workplace of the future. There have also been fundamental changes in the education system to cultivate curiosity from a young age and to place greater emphasis on skills development. For example, schools in Singapore have recently introduced an applied learning program, which includes subjects as diverse as computing, drama, and sports science to help the students appreciate the relevance of what they are learning and develop stronger motivation to acquire knowledge and skills. Institutes of higher learning have also expanded aptitude-based admission schemes so that admission is no longer based purely on academic grades.
Thank you. While Xing Chen is reading this, please pay attention, all of you. When you are in the class, if your teachers are mentioning this type of applied learning and all these things, they may have the latest information of how the next generation of you are taking all the courses. You know why? Because some of your teachers are career counselor, right? They will attend this and you will be very helpful in your social study and looking for your courses next year in your poly or JC. Trust me, okay, because now I'm not in the school system, I do not know what, because this teacher will sometimes go for courses to attend, to upgrade themselves, to help the student like you who want to take up courses. 明白吗？好，so 嘉玲, so when your teachers are mentioning all this stuff, recently me as a teacher attending this course, please pay attention, because all these will really what they call sometimes might come out in the SPQ questions. All right, so take note. Thank you, Xing Chen. Zhao Xuan, your turn. Strengthen inclusivity. I think this one is very important. Okay, go. 哇，你们的耳朵可以听到吗？他108000你可以听到。You did not unmute, my dear. Okay. Okay, let's go.
Strengthening inclusivity. The Singapore government has increased the progressivity of the fiscal system by enhancing direct support to lower skilled workers and low income households. Recognizing the lower skilled workers have been more valuable to disruptions caused by structural vulnerable to disruptions caused by structural changes. The authorities have introduced policies to mitigate the inequality and arrest widening wage disparities.
Stop. Write down this one. Copy down this sentence. Super important, very useful. This is where just now Prime Minister Wu was saying the help in the lower skilled worker to mitigate an inequality. So you realize Jialing, people say the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, right? So there's an income gap getting wider. Just like in China also the same, right? Getting richer. That's why a lot of people don't want to become farmer, send their children to the city to work. But is that really a good thing? Or are they then who is going to harvest the agriculture? Right? So this is where 是一个很伤脑筋的一个 policy. But this thing, Zhao Xuan, what you're reading, it's not only for this generation. No. This one has been happening for thousands of years until now. It's always like that. True now. There will be always a rich people and poor people. It's how we're going to help. Just remember, Zhao Xuan and all of you, you have 3 children. Got it now. Who do you think is more vulnerable to help at that point of time? Carry on.
Importantly, while allowing for society to play a bigger role in uplifting vulnerable groups, the focus remains on personal responsibility.
Stop.
The approach has...
Stop. 现在你读这个 personal responsibility, there was a question came out like that. Do you think that taking health, there's this question of health, I want to see the survey. Okay, thumbs up if you think that, let's say, you know, Singapore now talking about cutting down sugar, right, to reduce diabetes, okay? Do you think A, thumbs up if you think it's the government's, wait, I want to use the word, do you think A, is it government responsibility to tell all the citizens to be more healthy conscious? Okay, A is a thumbs up. B, do you think it is the community, okay, committee, like your school, your group of people responsible to tell you to keep you healthy? Or C, Pei Kun, is it your responsibility to keep it healthy? So A is thumbs up, B will be clap, C will be C, okay. Agree not, Yang Xiang? C? Xin Chen, Jia Ling, C? Then 我们每个都 agree 乔信。那为什么 Singapore 还要放这么多 campaign？ 少盐少糖 ，prevent 三高。你明知故问的不是你们你明知故问你自己 take responsibility 你看贝坤还喝那个水都是健康水应该是凉茶了对不对不要跟我讲是 cold 凉茶对吗you see you are taking your social own responsibility just like putting mask 对不对now you understand this topic also related it came up before whose responsibility is to taking care of your own of your health? Is it the government? Some question, because I pay so much tax to the government will take care of me. Like that. Then you know I throw the question to him. Very good. 像你妈妈照顾你这么多 isn't it you're supposed 长大了是要照顾她 forever? 还是你妈妈爸爸照顾你到21岁 then because 你生我出来你要照顾我一辈子赵学 got one sorry got one idiot in US the son sued the parents for giving birth to him. 乔信有没有And I heard he won the case. You go and Google it. It's in US. Yang Xiang, you shake your head, right?
I saw it.
Already have
Yeah, I read it before. Yeah.
Was it he won the case, right?
Yeah, he won.
Hey, welcome to US. Pei Kun is like, WTF, right? Jia Ling, 你不敢相信The son sued the parents for giving birth to him and make him so stressful, Yang Xiang, or live or something like that. 我跟你讲，真的，赵璇，你可以把那个《弟子规》给他读一下吗？那个书 parent 那个，给他读那个《弟子规》。你懂什么是《弟子规》你给他读一下。那现在我才明白我们华人的传统有那些《弟子规》那个孔子教言 ，it's really very useful 真的。very sad So I see cross referencing if you don't believe Yang Xiang has read already, so you are still don't believe Yang Xiang and Uncle Raymond, go and Google it Nuts, man. Carry on, my dear. Zhao Xuan.
The approach has been to create opportunities for low-wage workers to upgrade their skills so that they are able to take on higher quality jobs. Notably, the Workfare Income Supplement, a form of wage subsidy, tops up salaries of those earning less than $2,000 per month by up to $3,600 annually. These benefits, however, are linked to work mitigating the potential moral
Hazard, it's risky problems, more difficult problems.
Hazard problems associated with unconditional transfers.
What it
The
means
building
here
blocks of Singapore.
It's okay, sorry. What it means here is that, Zhao Xuan, if you are the cleaning company, this guy has been working for you to do cleaning, 就是扫地啦。Then he's only a set 2 qualification only, set 2 Then he dropped out already. Then he has been working for you for 5 years. Then the government say you must increase the salary because everything inflation, right? Inflation. So now the salary is only $1,000. So the government say you must increase his salary to 1,300. Even though it's $300, to him is a lot. True now. Right? Agree now, Zhao Xuan. To him is damn a lot. I got this guy, I recently read a message on Mothership. He was saying that this guy was a pest controller. He refused to take MC because he don't want to miss $100 for good attendance. And because of that, he's been jailed for no going back to stay at home because of he was being quarantined to test positive. So you see, these are the people who's not just lowly educated. They might take it that every single dollar to them is super important. Right? So how do we help them? So Zhao Xuan, this is where you send your worker for upgrading the skill by knowing more. So once you have the skill, that means he's justifiable to increase the salary. And maybe Zhao Xuan, because of he going back to do the recertifications and upgrading of skills, okay, you will promote him to a senior cleaner or even an assistant supervisor. 明白吗? So there's this called job opportunities. So they will not feel unconditional transfer or Are we going to replace by robots? Are we going to replace by another, say, another set 4 student? Okay, I won't be surprised. Like now, set 4 students also do Grab car, 对吗, Yang Xiang? Yeah, my good friends, only set 2 graduate only. The father of 2, 50 years old already, coming 50. Can't find a job, do Grab. English not so good, but slowly improve. So upgrading the skills. You need to, please. Okay? Right, carry on, Zhao Xuan.
The building blocks of Singapore's approach towards ensuring economic and social inclusivity remain firmly anchored in the country's education, housing, and healthcare policies. Apart from allocating higher expenditures to these areas, policies have been refocused to devote greater attention to the disadvantaged. For instance, the government has enhanced financial assistance to lower income households to support their children's early childhood development in order to minimize inequality of opportunities, while also strengthening support for the elderly through generous healthcare subsidies in the form of Pioneer Generation Package.
Do you know about this guy? Chelsea, 你有听过 Pioneer Generation Package? 就是我妈咪的年代啦 Those who born before 1949. Okay, they will have this Pioneer Generation Package. One advantage is that when they go to see doctor, they got very good discount, maybe 50% off, be in a polyclinic, in a hospital, or even in a general practitioner. That means a family clinic. 美国就是楼下看医生. Then they got this thing, the CHAS card, CHAS. The CHAS card is like people who are below certain income. Then you can apply. Okay, like I got this entitlement. So like few days ago, for a long time, I never go and see doctors. I went to see the doctors because of this CHAS blue card. The consultation, $18 was being waived. I only pay for the medications. You need to know all these things, children, because you will come out in the SPQ. I kid you not, seriously. So the Pioneer Generations is like you go to NTUC, you buy thing. From I think every Monday, Wednesday in any NTUC fair price, you will get a 3% off from the grocery. Very good, right? So you realize you don't believe tomorrow, Monday, you happen to go to any NTUC fair price, you will see a lot of senior citizens there. Not only Yang Xiang, not only, are you there? Oh, because the way you look like that, I thought you frozen. Not only NTUC fair price, Sheng Siong, Giant, Cold Storage. In Singapore, all these supermarket, they give Pioneer Generation. Cool, right? Okay, so you have to think of all this one. All these supermarket, Sheng Siong, Giants, Cold Storage, NTUC fair price, yeah. They give discount, but on which day, I don't know. I can't remember. They have the different day. I think Cold Storage on Thursday, though. As long as you flash the Pioneer card to them, they will give you discount. Very good, huh? You save a lot. Like if you are buying $100, sometimes you can discount for $3-4. The $3-4 discount is like practically you're getting a loaf of bread already. This is what Prime Minister Wu was saying, giving a greater attention to support the financial assistance to lower income household. And the education is very important. Yang Xiang, you know, last time when Uncle Raymond, I saw some of my students, my classmates and my friends, when they are say fighting in school or play truant, straight away, Yang Xiang, the school will kick them out already. So when they're out of the school, what happened, Pei Kun? They'll become loitering out in the outside, right? 他们没有受过教育嘛，对不对 ？Then 就是近朱者赤，近墨者黑嘛。所以现在没有了，现在那 government 就是说 ，whether whatever it is, 10 years of education is compulsory. Do you know that? You must have 10 years, which is good, right? 可能 Prime Minister Wu 到时可说 no, 10 years is not enough. In order to be making our citizen more competitive, 12 years or 13 years. That means you must graduate as an A-level student of poly. true 呢？嘉玲以前50年代、60年代一个 Set 2就可以做 Superintendent Police Officer 了，可以做长官了。现在 Set 2做什么？做个屁呀，对不对？现在我的那个 Police Officer 家里比我年轻他有一个 at least 2个 degree 还是 Master degree 还是 Scholarship 的，他才35还是38岁耶。An old man have to， 我跟你说。So I salute because I give respect to him as well as the rank. 对吗，杨相 I only respect people who get my respect because you're being respect because you do the right thing. 出脑交心 Right? You respect the person because the rank, but you may not respect the person because his character sucks. 对不对 Because when you don on the uniform, in terms of rank, you still have to respect. This is the rules and regulation. 出脑All right, so take note of this. Thank you. Conclusion. 嘉玲，很久没有洗耳动听你的声音了，开始。
Globalization and technology have acquired something of a bad reputation in recent times. This is unfortunate as they remain the principal drivers of sustained growth in the global economy. Concerns over the negative effects of free trade and technology are not new and have emerged in various forms throughout economic history. Yet 18 of the Pioneer Generation Package provides lifetime healthcare benefits for Singaporeans born before 1950. It recognizes the contributions of the pioneering generations of Singaporeans by assuring them of affordable healthcare. The package is expected to benefit 450,000 elderly Singaporeans.
Stop, sorry. I forgot. Got another group is called the Merdeka generation. Do you know that? You know that? You all must know, The Pioneer generation is one. Then Merdeka is those people who born from 1950 to 1959. So Uncle Raymond born in 1969. So I don't have that generation yet. Maybe I have to, Yang Xiang, I have to reach 60. Then Prime Minister Wu will say, okay, those born in 1960 to 69 will get this what generation card. So 我拭目以待。So this is what you see. 你们要 come up with a lot of policy and packages. This is 国家大事children. 你懂这个可以 affect 到你自己的未来的前途吗？生儿育女，结婚，买屋子，照顾你的父母亲，为你们的养老筹备 for retirement. You see? So what? 被困 you are the top engineer, but 你整天 sorry 不顾这样不是好吃懒做，整天都是花天酒地enjoy example then 当你要需要钱的时候怎么办呢？我们人是会老会病老死，生老病死的嘛，对不对？ The worst thing 就是我们死不了，那个医药费怎么办？很昂贵的 ，very expensive, right? 对的。So now you understand why so what 被困 ？If you get engineering, but if your social study or humanities got B4 and 赵璇 got A1 for social study, honestly乔信 who will you employ? 赵璇 or 被困 ？Both Max got A1 but 赵璇 got A1 for social study and 被困 got B4.
I guess 赵璇。
为什么呢？
Like the studies generally better.
因为他有人性 ，That's all， 他有人性 ，human touch。一个公司不是跑 machine 对吗？被困 ，Sorry I'm not cursing you before I'm just giving example， 明白吗？ 我要 hit hard to you or to anybody here. Okay, don't take social study lightly. Just now you saw me waving, my hand was like that, right? My god sister and my husband came down to my house to give me Chinese goodies. Okay, so the son was my student last year. So same thing. Okay, he now waiting for the result. Because of his geography, he suspect geography. Because social study, Jia Ling, 100% came out last year. 100% came out. So there's no way you can feel unless you got exam phobia. Right? So he suspect his geography, that he cannot do well. So guys, whoever is doing geography or history, please, you have to take note. Social study, can I say humanity subject is very important. Okay, take note. You need to write, you need to read a lot of all these things. You don't have the chance to read this. You only based on the textbook at page 272. If you look at 273, you look at 274 and 275. Now, if your textbook is right in front of you, not enough, children. You have to read something like this. And it helps, right? Very good. Because I want to relate in real life. And then when you read the textbook, 可以细细相关. And then with using your 3 children as an example, you will feel it that, wow, that is a strong economic impact for me in the future. Back to you. Who's turn to read? Sorry, Jia Ling.
220, yes, paper number 100.
Yeah.
Countries by and large have continued to engage with the global economy, and new innovative ideas have flourished. From a policy perspective, pro and anti-globalization are not sensible positions to take, as there is no single orthodoxy that can effectively tackle the deep-seated societal issues that have become conflated with the ill effects of economic progress.
Can we use this example? Just like a lot of people still don't want to get vaccinated, because they think that vaccination may cause the side effect a few years later down the road, might cause you to get cancer. But it's like in Hamlet, it's to be or not to be. It's like the chicken and egg. 是做还是不做？你不做，你就是等一下那个 virus 来，你等死。我现在做，我 prevent virus， 可是未来我不懂怎么样，我会不会感染到一个新的病毒 ？We don't know, right? So then again, it all depends on how you see it. Like globalizations, there's always put there. There's always a double-edged sword, or we call it the two sides of the coin. Carry on, Jia Ling.
A fresh narrative and policy approach is needed. Policymakers need to regain the ground lost to the skeptics
who often
exaggerate the downsides of openness to trade and ideas and choose to play down the benefits. At the same time, governments need to be ready to be strategically interventionist to facilitate.
Write down this one. This one is super important, children. No, seriously, this one is super important. I find it why? Because in life, Qiao Xing, Zhao Xuan, and all of you, Bei Kun, Jia Ling, and Yang Xia and Xin Chen. One day when you are a father, okay, like this morning, when I came back from work, I never be so angry until Yang Xia, I have to use my belt to go and really hit my younger son so hard until got 3 strokes on his leg. I never be so never. 我从来不拿那个裤带打他。So he say something, what the hell? Then he nearly say the F word to my wife, just because he don't want to learn spelling. So there's a saying, Yang Xiang, spoil the child or spare the rod, spoil the child. 听过吗？对吧？你听过这句话对吗？记得有一个故事，他说：“妈咪，我今天偷了隔壁的邻居一个鸡蛋。”连他妈咪讲：“好。”连第二次他又偷了不懂什么东西，他妈咪又讲：“好。”最后他去杀人，然后在法官那边，法官问他：“你有什么东西要讲吗？”呀，我有东西要在我的妈妈的耳边讲。他把他妈妈的耳朵摇出来， Okay, what is the moral of the story? You know, so in life, you have to plan interventions. If I don't intervene this afternoon when I came back, my son like that, okay? Okay, I asked my wife, you feel sad about it when I hit him? I said, yeah, of course. Mommy always like that one. But I know if I don't do that, what happened, 贝坤？我可以说他以后会变本加厉。他看到很多 YouTube，哎，这里 I tell you 哈，那你懂 Beautify 讲话啦，Mr. B 讲话，他学 ，Yeah, it's good. But certain thing at the age of 10 years old, you know nothing is correct, not very good. Right? So we have to intervene. So when the government, you know the e-cigarette, you know e-cigarette, right? Why the government intervene? Few days ago, I saw a few youth was smoking e-cigarette. I feel like really stopping them. Instinct as a police officer, right? It's no good. E-cigarette is definitely no good. And don't even try it, I tell you. Good luck to you. If you're going to be curiosity kills the cat, you try it, good luck to you, children. Once you get caught, your whole record is not only just on MOE. 以后你找工作, good luck to you. I'm telling you right to your face now. Don't ever do that. Because I've been recording all these cases when I was in secondary school. It's very serious. Okay, e-cigarette, smoking, gang fighting, extortions, bullying. Okay, right. Okay, if you say play truant, still not so very bad, serious crime. But if you do all these like what I mentioned just now, 你以后要找政府工没有这么容易啊。Okay, so please keep yourself clean record. The only time Pei Kun, the student don't have this, either he give up Singapore citizenship, go to another country, or he kick the bucket, 死掉了. Then the record will be erased off. So not worth it. If Pei Kun say, hey, 你怕死啊, you chicken smoke then 你跟他讲, yeah, I'm chicken, bye bye, 走掉. Not worth it now. 我的 nephew 就是这样，他 Bill 以前他站在旁边，他朋友 smoke 而已，他中300块 cheat code case record 我跟你讲一次两次第三次 very serious boys home I tell you it's not nice to stay in boys home don't okay, let's carry on. So take note of this red color, carry on. Jialing.
To facilitate and manage the market forces behind globalization and technology, as these do not lift all boats in the first instance. There will be increasing contradiction and distributional consequences that governments need to be alert to. We therefore need to prepare as many of our workers as we can to be carried along with the waves of progress and provide for those who might be left behind. In these regards, the first best policy response is always never to stifle innovation nor opportunities for exchange, but to recognize that the preconditions for partaking in their benefits are becoming more onerous for specific segments of businesses and households. In Singapore's case, globalization has allowed the island to overcome its natural constraints of limit land, labor, and market size to achieve rapid economic growth since independence.
Copy down this sentence, super important. Is it true? Because you see our children, why the government welcome Qiao Xing, Pei Kun, Zhao Xuan, Jialin, Xingchen, and Yang Xiang? Hey, hello, excuse me. Don't get angry with me. You're not Jack Ma's son, or you're not Bill Gates' son, or whoever. You're just an ordinary human being like me, and you like Pei Kun. But why the government want to invest on you, Pei Kun? Who are you? Xi Jinping 的孙子No joke, just kidding, 不要生气We see every single of you got potential. And because when you come here, I believe they also scrutinize. Can I use the word scrutinize through your parents' capability, ability, and contributions and clean record? True not? Will you want to get a terrorist family to come to Singapore, like France like that? Remember the assimilation, right? 对吗，嘉玲？对不对？ Who are you? You are nobody, to be honest. But the government willing not to take the risk, this is not risk, willing to accept all of you because they believe, sorry, I changed my word. They strongly believe that you guys will contribute not just to Singapore, 听好来，this is very serious. Because one day you might say, no, sorry, thank you very much, Singapore. 感恩、感谢、感激跟感动，你栽培我。可是新加坡不是我要住的地方，我要回去中国。把你带去中国不只是你的教育，对吗？你做人的态度，你做人的本性的 ABC 的 attitude behavior 感恩。This is what we have done. And 你会感恩在新加坡的过程当中 they nurture you and inculcate you to be a very holistic person. Get it now? Zhao Xuan, if you want to take picture, okay? I think Jia Ling, Zhao Xuan camera will crack when I do this. Hey, Yang Xiang, right? Right, Yang Xiang. Lucky I never do this. Even worse, the Wi-Fi gone. Okay, joke aside. So this is a very important sentence. What Jia Ling is reading is very true. Okay, take note. Carry on, Jia Ling.
In the earlier years, foreign direct investments accelerated the accumulation of capital and know-how, empowered the rapid development of Singapore's manufacturing capabilities. More recently, the advance of information technology enabled services to become more exportable and for Singapore to focus on increasingly specialized parts of global value chains.
Excuse me, it's called the advance of technology, not advanced. This one is super important, number one. And then you must write down this global value chain. It's called right now. Can you put that global value chain equal to supply chain? This is where all of you, now you understand why Singapore want to take all of you here. Because of your brain. 赵璇、贝坤、星辰 and Yang Xiang, 明白吗？ Jia Ling and Qiao Xing, because of your brain. Why Singapore government want your parents to come to Singapore? Because of their brain and their contribution, expertise and professionalism. 你去到哪里，人家就会要到你。以后你要 migrate 去 Australia, 去 US, 去 UK, your expertise and professionalism and your certifications is the invisible weapons and tools that you carry throughout the rest of your entire life. You make the next 50 years decisions of your life. All right? I have done my best for my side. Carry on, my dear.
Looking ahead, a greater exchange of ideas and higher mobility of human capital will be essential in Singapore's transformation into a knowledge and skills-based economy.
Stop here. This one, when I was working many years back, they already got this knowledge and skill-based economy. Do you do your this Outlook? Do you have Microsoft Outlook? You have the Microsoft Google Classroom, Google Meet, right? Google what? Your school got this HBL, right? All these things, right? Realize that all these are the knowledge skills based. So children, what are you going to plan for? You see, Lee Kuan Yew plan to bring manufacturing here. Goh Chok Tong and Lee Hsien Loong plan to bring information technology for our smart nations. Prime Minister Wu, Prime Minister Teo, Prime Minister Lee, Prime Minister Singh Chen, Prime Minister Jia Ling, and Prime Minister Yang Xiang. What are you going to plan for the next 50 years of your generations beside information technology? Challenging, huh? What will you think? What will you plan? Yes, Chelsea, you're laughing. What do you think? What will you plan for the next?
Like improvement of existing technology, then continue being a competitive global economy where we strive to be able to keep up to like greater economic powers of the world, such as China and US now.
You cannot beat them.
Like trying.
No matter how you are, you cannot beat them. Agree not?
Yeah.
They are the super giants. Even Russia, you cannot beat them. The only thing is that since you cannot beat them, you join them, right? Always do this. One step ahead is R&D right now. The only things you can do is research and development. Now you know why the PSLE changings and all these changes. It's cater Bei Kun and Qiao Xing and Zhao Xuan, Xing Chen and Jia Ling and Yang Xiang. It's for not for you, for your son and your grandson. 你说现在已经在这个 system 了嘛，对吗？贝坤 right？可能你的儿子哦，到时不用拿书包去了，拿一个 iPad 就可以了，对不对？你反正你现在都已经这样了嘛，对不对？对吗？可能他用 3D 来教书了，对吗？家里，哦，可能他们都不用拿 report book 去回家给你塞了，他直接 send 去你的那个 handphone， 还是直接 send 去你的那个冰橱啊？你懂冰橱吗 ？fridge 啊，不要笑啊！现在冰橱都可以看电视机，你懂哦？对吗？啊，那个直接 send 你的 email sign e-sign or face recognitions. I read about my son progress. You see, this is what you're right, Chelsea. Enhance, ensure, and enforce right now. Enhance, ensure, and enforce the technology to be more competitive. You are damn bloody right. You see, which is the next sentence that Jialing is reading. You are right. Jialing, please.
Singapore's engagement with world markets is therefore deeply
Etched into our economic and political history.
Like many countries, we too need to redouble efforts so that what has clearly proven to be welfare enhancing for the country as a whole does not become a destabilizing force that divides different segments of society. Singapore's approach towards globalization and technology inclusivity is anchored on intensive efforts to prepare our workers for change through the Skill Future and other programs, as well as measures to promote the accessibility of new technologies. We will need to commit ourselves to more and smarter investments for the future, combining training as an essential tool with various forms of targeted income support and redistribution.
Let me tell you, children, after reading this, you all should be feeling more frightened and more worried and more stressed. Because the next 50 years, you are competing with a very global stage where more intelligence and more competitive people with your counterparts in other countries. So how are we stop whistling? Thank you. So how are we going to be more skillful? As what Chelsea, you're right. You have to continue to upgrade yourself, okay? Continue to improve, continue to visit the world. That's why Singapore governments are very, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they always bring the UAE, the Dubai, those Saudi Arabia people to come in recently to talk about all these things. These countries cannot have xenophobia. This country need globals, okay? Why? So Chelsea, what you read just now is all quite similar to here. Well done. Huh? So children, listen. When you come across the SRQ in the conclusion, don't get panicked. All right. Think of your voice. How are you going to improve? Just like always think, your parents love, your grandparents, or your wife love. Which one is more important in your life? At the conclusion, of course, you say the 3 different love. But at the conclusion, you have to make the decision which one is more ultimately important to your life. 明白吗？悲观的赵轩家里，你不用说死死的要那个，你觉得我不可以说用随机应变的哈 ，depends 啊。如果是时间的限制，你就要随机应变。But when you have the quality to write the conclusion, please put it like what you see. This conclusion, what Jialing read is damn super long. You see? Oh, so I don't understand Yang Xiang and all of you. I did not know about your English. When you are writing argumentative or expository or discursive or narrative, every time I mark my student conclusions very short. But this one is too long. But because this is a university paper, a thesis paper, okay? But don't write so short, okay? Okay, let's go through this this tree. You guys are supposed to do this test. I still haven't seen anyone hand it to me. Seriously, I haven't seen anyone hand it to me. So I just went to Google Classroom. I checked. Nobody handed to me. I hope next lesson is a 5th lesson of the month. Sorry. I may not want to touch on too much things on the chapter 9. Okay, because I want to really see your homework to go through. But then again, if you're not going to hand in homework, if you're not going to hand in the homework, then no choice. I have to use things to replace to substitute your homework. Excuse me. So my answer for Singapore in the next 50 years, 2050 will be, is an information technology and system driven society. More elderly citizens will need medical services. True, right? We need we need a strong 5 pillars defense: SAF, SPF, Singapore Police Force, Singapore Armed Force, Singapore Civil Defense Force, and psychological and total defense. This psychological and total defense is what we're talking about. Anyone can tell me what is that? Yang Xiang?
Sorry, what?
What is a psychological and total defense?
Like what they do.
So what are these defense for? We know this one SAF is defense of army 对吗？这是 police 吗？
To
这个
make
是
sure
civil
to make sure Singapore is
Sorry.
Singapore is safe and strong in all aspects.
Like what? Like what?
In
What is
terms
this
of
aspect?
safe, like you know, in our life, like safety lah, okay? And then there's also digital and like economical, psychological defense. Yeah, 5.
You missed out a few more. Is we talk about multi-racial also.
Yeah, yes.
That one is and multi-racial and multi-religion are very important. Next, we must be more competitive trading with ASEAN and the world. Education will be paramount important for higher order thinking product and services, which Chelsea you mentioned, right? Continue to upgrade, right? Creating a new paradigm shift in a more holistic learning environment using AI, using robots, or using software. Maybe I'm not sure your teacher came out this. I give a question to my student in the English. Do you think, okay, listen, that AI or robots will replace teacher in the teaching in the next century? I won't say now, in the next century. Next century, that means it's 2100, right? Okay. Do you think robots will be replace humans to teach? It's already done already. It's really happening right now also, right? It's just that very minor, right? So you decide, and this is okay, since Pei Kun, you're going to be Singapore citizen for here, so housing is an issue, correct? You know how much is a house now? 500 to 1 million. Can you afford? Can you afford? Any one of you? Of course not, cannot lah. But how long are you going to buy this house and pay for the house? True not? The house is getting more expensive. The house is getting more smaller. Now, job employment, children, next 50 years, you'll be 40 years old and 50 years old or more, right? What will happen to you? Do you think Zhao Xuan, Xing Chan, Yang Xiang, Jia Ling, Pei Kun, and Qiao Xing, do you think you will be replaced by the younger generation? Or do you think you will be replaced by AI and robots? Or do you think you will be replaced by more foreigners? You see? So, Prime Minister Wu, how are you going to make a policy that is suitable for everybody? Get it now? With the job employability. Because don't forget, people who voted you into the parliament are all your Singapore fellow men, right? Countrymen, 对吗? So 你要允许失言，对不对? To help back your own citizen 嘛，对不对? So how are you going to come up a new policy to help them? I think this one will never go off. Agree not? Xing Chan. Like just now you mentioned Yang Xiang. This one will not go off. Xing Chan, correct? Terrorism will be there. Xing Chan. You will not go off. Seriously. You know why not, Jia Ling? Terrorism or war will never go off. 只要有 economy 只要有穷的国家跟富有的国家，一定有 terrorism 跟 war 的。You know why, 嘉玲？嫉妒 ，jealousy， 对吗？一定会有的。Sustainability this one I think next 2 weeks was it next 2 weeks or next month the Singapore Finance Minister will have a budget announcement, and one of it is about eco-friendly environment school green. Like I told you already, all of you, please take note now. You have to go and study all these things. Uncle Raymond will get as much information for you because it might be coming up in one of your SBQ questions on this. Mostly involved in diversity and globalization. More on the issue 2 and issue 3. And then the foreign talents will dominate the headlines. Now, Yang Xiang, you are born in Singapore, right? Who is not born in Singapore from China? Zhao Xue? Are you? Yeah, okay. So now you're Singapore, right? Okay.
Born in
So-
Beijing.
北京One night in 北京，我留下许多情。听过这首歌吗？没有。有哦，哎，贝坤，你这么老咩？这是我的年代的，开玩笑。OK， 那首歌真的很好听。他有的唱大戏的，对吗？哦，去听啦，你不知道。OK， 赵轩，所以 you're born in 北京来新加坡了，then 以后你长大了，你看到外国人，不一定说是北京啊，别的国家。你会有那种 xenophobia 吗？
What is xenophobia?
I also don't know. I anyhow say one. I got no word to say there. Say,
I think I know. I think I know. Xenophobia is you don't like other or you don't like other races or like cultures or something.
No, it's more of foreigners, like not races, like foreign people coming in taking the jobs.
Got it. 赵轩学了一个字了 ，copy 到哈。因为这个如果是 come out in SBQ 你不懂这个字，你整个 SBQ 完蛋了，真的真的。They always think 如果你不明白你要记到这个赵轩 ，Singapore for Singaporean only that is xenophobia already. 说你会不会 xenophobia？
No, I won't.
如果你是 xenophobia 你是自己打自己的嘴巴，对吧？
Yeah.
Now you understand how you feel Because even though I am a Singaporean 我土生土长 but my grandfather and my two side of grandfather are all from China 嘞。算是我也是 like from overseas. Singapore, this country, to me, it doesn't really belongs to the Malay or你们收到这个吗？
Just now you were lagging damn hard.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So don't get xenophobia, guys. Okay, you have to embrace, you have to embrace to embark a new journey. See, Pei Kun, you have to embrace them to come to Singapore and you embark a new journey with these foreigners. Okay? 你们有收到这些吗？有什么？杨向有没有？
没有。Oh, you mean in the Google Classroom
有
then 有。
I want you to go and interpret every pictures okay. So now I already finished Jialing, sorry those the front one already explained already. So I complete that one was a very tedious long one Yang Xiang, a very long essay We took about 2 or 3 lessons to finish up to cover the so-called chapter 8 and 9 and a bit of 10, chapter 10. So practically it's everything. So we have to go through, interpret this. So this one you have to do. This is your homework. And you have to come up your own answer. What is the next 50 year that you foresee? And then you have to do this one, like economic factors, interpret what you mean by this. Mostly is this picture here. How foreigner talents can help Singapore reaps economic gains. They came out, It's one of, you don't believe, you go and take this picture and see it's in one of the SBQ. You can find your answer, good luck to you. This one also. Your teacher would like to come up all these kind of questions. This one came out, globalization. You see, this is a native guy. Then this one is the rich, you see. What do you mean by this? Globalization comes like a tsunami. And then you see, I said NFTA is an acronym for, I can't remember what is this stand for. WTO, you know, our World Trade Organizations. Fair trade, you see, help, I need tariff. And then see, build the trade barrier from China and US. These are all very meaningful SPQ questions that you can learn. Okay. So next week I'll be going through this picture with you, and the best, if you can, choose the picture and analyze, come out your own so then how question. So this picture talk about tariff in the US market. Then this guy make it so big because he want to be showing unfair to this poor guy who has limited stock where he is very industrialization. How can I tell that this globalization impact? Get it now? A picture speaks 1,000 words. Like this one is also a very meaningful thing. So corporate America. So remember, children, 4 corners. The 4 corners is very important. And then the central attraction here. Okay, take note of all these things, because you will use it in your real exam. The 4 corners always are very important. You don't believe, you look at every 4 corners. Every 4 corners. So next week is the last lesson of the month. I would like to complete the questions by hopefully that you guys can spend some time to write something about this tree. And at the last paragraph, the 4th paragraph, you have to decide which is more important and has a stronger impact to the economic crisis, economic impacts. Okay, so this 3, and then of course you can, no need to write the 10 points. I already put there. I will show it to your next slides, next tuition, Zoom lesson 5.